Hello guys, welcome back to the HeroesHype Amateur Series week number 13. We're in the semifinals between the Pleyz and the Goon squad, and the Pleyz took game one in a very crazy, exciting, awesome match on Sky Temple. What do you think, Anna?
That was one of the closer matches I've ever seen on Sky Temple. I mean, it really came down to the last few seconds, and there was no clear leader almost at any point in the game. So a really fun one to watch, a lot of action, which is typical on Sky Temple, but a really cool narrative, which I think was really cool for me to see on Sky Temple.
Yeah, and it all came down to that global map presence of Falstad, and I have to wonder if things had been different had Goon Squad had ETC with stage dive. He might have been able to stage dive down after they won that fight, or even like as soon as they saw that they had pushed them off and been able to push Falstad. But of course the whole game would have gone differently, so it might not have even been in that situation. But
yeah,
a good point to think about, that ETC, the global map presence of ETC, Falstad, and Brightwing as well, can really, really turn the tide, and did in that game as well. But we've got the draft going. We're going to be on Anna's favorite map, Blackheart Space, so let's check it out.
Yeah, it looks like Goon Squad is going to right away ban Illidan, and the Pleyz are going to follow up by banning Lost Vikings. So you said this is at 100% ban this week. Not a huge surprise, as Lost Vikings can do all sorts of things. On this map, for example, they could be picking up all sorts of little doubloons all over the map while everybody else is otherwise engaged. So taking them out of commission, as well as Illidan. But Goon Squad is going to pick up Tyrande first pick again. So she is the belle of the ball right now.
Yeah. I think that they're saying, okay, we were very close that game, so we can just make some small changes and then get back to, get the win that we want. And Tyrande seems to be something that they really value. Before they had banned Jaina, and now because they've banned Illidan, the Pleyz have the opportunity to pick up Jaina. And so this is what I see this as is Goon Squad saying, we didn't really like playing that versus that Illidan. Let's see what you can do with Jaina. Normally we don't like her, at least on that Sky Temple, but let's see how this works and see if our composition can beat what you do with Jaina. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to pick up Jaina, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up Vala here, because we see Jaina and Vala often picked together, and they do so much damage together. We need, we've got the Siege Sisters. We need some sort of thing. Well, they're going to do the Blonde Sisters with Jaina and Sylvanas instead.
Yeah, building Team Blonde here. They're going to grab Sylvanas. Sylvanas on this map, we talk about this all the time, but her pushing power is really valuable, especially here where split pushing can be something that happens very quickly and secretively. There's so much to do on this map and so many ways to do it that I feel like Sylvanas is really fun that way. She can also take mercenary camps very quickly, so again, with collecting doubloons, she can kind of be the tax collector, if you will, while people are otherwise engaged. Goon Squad is going to grab that Vala that you mentioned is so valuable, Gilly. Vala, of course, can do a lot of those same things. She can't stun or keep the mercenaries from hitting her the way that Sylvanas can, but she can bring them down very quickly. And Uther is going to be the main healer for the Goon Squad, going to join Sylvanas for a dual support build.
Well, they've got the two stuns from both Uther and Tyrande this time. Last time, they had the Brightwing as their support. Now, the Pleyz are going to pick up ETC for their tank. I did want to mention that Sylvanas, like you said, was so good because of her push potential. But, a lot of things that people don't think about, one of them being that on this map, the turn-ins at the late stage of the game can get so high in terms of coins. 20, 22, even 24 coins needed to try to turn in just to be able to take down those structures. And so being able to have a hero who can quickly help you take down even just the turrets or the walls or the wells so that you can quickly take them out and not have to waste any of the cannonballs, that's something that is really beneficial. And Brightwing as well.
Interesting. So Brightwing with that global presence, like you said, though, it is restricted to where her teammates are. But on this map, it's a little smaller. It's more likely that her teammates will give her at least the direction that she wants to go. So global presence also from ETC with that stage dive. So this team is built to make sure they can be in a team fight if they need to be, which is great because you can send ETC or Brightwing to take care of soaking or grabbing doubloons or something else somewhere else on the map and know that they can come back to help when they're needed in a team fight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They can stay until the last minute to make sure you get the edge in experience or making sure that you're taking out any mercs that are pushing down your lanes before going into the fights. Now we've got Goon Squad. They've got 2 picks left. We should see them pick up some sort of warrior here as a tank, and then probably another damage dealer of some type as well. That would be the standard pick from here. And off of this, I think that Kerrigan would be amazing. Do you think we'll see another Stitches, given how the last game went?
Well, I was going to say, I think Stitch's hooks for Goon Squad would have paid off better on a smaller map with more terrain in the way. If Stitches can hook over a wall or into a small area or into a death bridge or something like that, that can spell disaster. So Goon Squad is, in fact, going to grab that Stitches again. Good call, Gilly. And that's going to be really fun to watch in terms of this map being a little bit more mazy, if you will. Around turn-in, even, there's a little kind of a tiny little maze that is a great lurking place for Stitches. So Stitches can hook someone even off turn-in and already have them surrounded with another teammate, body block them to their doom. So I love seeing Stitches on this map. Really looking forward to seeing who Goon Squad is going to pair him with.
Yeah, and they're actually going to grab the Falstad. So going for a little bit of global map presence for themselves. That's going to be nice, of course, too, because he can fly to those little doubloon camps and quickly pick them up and then get out of there as fast as possible. But I think Goon Squad feels a lot more comfortable now knowing that they have Tyrande and Uther to stun off of the Stitches hooks. Before they had the Tyrande, but then all they really had was Brightwing, who can polymorph, but you can't get anything to slow off of polymorph until you can grab that sticky powder, and that's all the way at 16. Once we saw them get to 16, it did seem like they were being able to catch people off of hooks a bit more, especially because they also had that fishing hook, but it wasn't quite enough. And so they've grabbed the Uther. They also have Falstad. Now the Pleyz have 1 pick left. It could be a damage dealer. It also could be somebody like a Tassadar, maybe even another tank. Things are a lot wider open for them in terms of what they're going to pick up here. And I think that gives them a good advantage as far as like being able to deal with whatever Goon Squad has. And they're going to pick up Zeratul.
You know, playing against Void Prison on this map is always so frustrating because there are a lot of situations that force you to be grouped up, like turn-ins, like the so-called death bridges, like chests for doubloons. So Void Prison can be very successful in grabbing a lot of people very easily. Also, really fun to set up for combos. Could be a nice place to use Jaina. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, for one, I love Void Prison on death bridges, like you mentioned. So good. But then also Void Prison on, this is so good. You can Void Prison Falstad to pause Hinterland Blast until your teammates get out of the way, or you can Void Prison your own teammates, and then Hinterland Blast will not hit them when it goes off. The things you can do with Void Prison are so crazy. It's got so much utility, which is something that I love about. There's a lot of abilities that have tons of different applicable uses in this game. Something like Blink Heal. I think Blink Heal is also amazing because it can put you into the fight where you can polymorph somebody. It can heal somebody, obviously. It can get you out of a pinch by blinking to somebody. You can even blink to minions to get away. How cool is that? Like the applicability of these different talents or abilities are so cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the creativity that Void Prison breeds. Like you said, using it in different ways. And I mean, talking about all the other abilities you can do that with is definitely applicable here. I'm excited to see this map particularly, and you know this is my favorite, I can talk about it forever, but there's so much allowance for creativity here in terms of how a team wants to attack this, where they can find the other team. And I think vision is actually going to be something that we are going to need to pay attention to. We haven't talked about it much as we go into this game, but knowing where the other team is on this map can be very, very, very important, and people move around quite a bit and very quickly. We know Tyrande has the owl for vision. What else do you think we're going to be seeing in terms of vision concerns here?
Brightwing can get the scouting drone, and I think we may see that, although Bribe is really, really nice on this map, and that's at the same talent tier for Brightwing. But we also have Zeratul. He can help a lot because he's cloaked. He can go find people as well. And something I really like about Zeratul too on this map is he can be kind of your dedicated small doubloon camp grabber. He can quickly go over, grab those, and then get out, and the other team doesn't really know where he went. And so having somebody who is constantly on the ball with those is also something that should be a consideration for teams. So we are loading into Blackheart's Bay. We'll go ahead and introduce these teams. Oh, I have the counter on the wrong thing, so why don't you go ahead and introduce the team?
Sure. Let's just make sure I have the correct colors this time. Looks like no, but we have Hosty will be playing Falstad for Goon Squad. Yoda will be playing Vala. Teebs will play Stitches. Goat will play Tyrande. Get Up will play Uther. And that will round out the squad for Goon Squad. For the Pleyz, Yell Cow will be on ETC. Pirate Rum will play Jaina. Evan Drinde will be on Zeratul. Zeus will play Sylvanas. And Lex Uther will be Brightwing.
And just to be certain, the Pleyz did win that last game, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. All right, because yeah, the counter's wrong, and then I was second guessing myself, of course. So we do have a vision spot in the center. We often see earlier teams die to that, and oh my goodness, go
Wow.
quickly using the owl to be able to spot Evan, who does, oh my gosh, avoid the hook, but does not avoid the stun from Tyrande, and will get taken out. So very, very quick kill coming out from Goon Squad.
That was, I mean, that's definitely that's a great hiding spot that people would, I suppose, check. But to look in exactly the spot where Zeratul was first thing, wow, Spidey sense is tingling. Teebs and Goat for Goon Squad will now go grab that treasure chest, and I think the Pleyz must be a little bit disheartened. They're gonna have to kind of reevaluate their lives for a second, standing behind their walls here, and then they're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, we're actually seeing a 3-hero push for the Pleyz on bottom, which is not something we generally see. A lot of times it might just even be 1 hero, but here come Teebs and Goat to try to deal with this. They've got to be careful. Of course, Teebs has that hook followed up by the stun from Goat, and so they're going to get out of here. And let me throw out the talents so you can see those.
Yeah, both teams holding 5 doubloons, but in the case of the Pleyz, Lex Uther is holding all of them, so Lex Uther's got to be careful not to die here. Luckily, the healing for Brightwing is strong, so we're going to see Lex Uther be okay, but we've got 3-on-3 in the bottom lane. What are the talents looking like, Gilly?
Well, for now, we do see Brightwing has picked up the scouting drone, so is going to be looking at having vision for this map, just like you said, and these killer owls are just epic as well. So here we go. We're trying to pick up Hosty, who will be able to barrel roll in and be safe for now. And we're seeing a lot of changing lanes. I can't think of that word at the moment, but they are changing lanes, trying to come up to the spot. They're just trying to be anywhere where the other team is not. They're trying to get away from Hosty's damage, though. Does a lot. And rotations. Everybody's just rotating a lot. There you go.
Lex Uther actually almost got hooked into the midst of that 4-person squad there, but Teebs barely missed that hook. So and missed again on trying to pull Lex Uther. That would have been a great pick if they could get Lex Uther, because like I said, Lex Uther is holding all the doubloons. So an opportunity missed for Goon Squad, but they're certainly not out of it. They are a little bit ahead in experience right now, and they've got 3 people roaming. They're going to take some more doubloons on the side of the Pleyz camp, while Tyrande keeps an eye on things with that owl.
So we do see once again 2 protective shields for the Goon Squad, but oh, and a hook on Yell Cow followed by stunned, and then stun again means they'll be able to pick up that kill. That's what they wanted. That's why they wanted that Uther and that Tyrande. So not only is there 1 stun, but immediately followed by another stun. And you remember, they've got to time that out too. They've got to say, okay, first we're going to stun with Tyrande, then we're going to stun with the Uther, so that they're not throwing the stuns down at the same exact time. So a lot of team synergy there as they pick up that kill. What I was mentioning before is that they also got the double protective shield, once again wanting to make sure that they have some good sustainability. Yoda getting caught out here by Evan and Pyra. Evan wanting to go in for that kill, will be able to pick up the volley kill, and nobody there to protective shield her this time.
Well, it's interesting, you know, that combo that we're talking about really requires 4 people to make full advantage of it. You've got Stitches with the hook, Tyrande with a stun, then Uther with a stun, and then you've also got Falstad there to do damage. So Vala is having to take care of her poor little self while the rest of her team goes around wreaking havoc. They also are going to have to be mindful of the fact that if they keep 4 players together quite a bit, they're going to lose out in experience in terms of lane. So they're going to have to keep getting those kills and getting structures down to make sure they compensate for that experience, or they're going to have to rotate back and forth. Right now we see, again, 4 together, but Vala is going to be joining them this time. Where is Uther's up here in the top lane taking care of himself now?
Yeah, it seems like they're generally keeping 1 in the top and 1 in the bottom as much as possible. And Jaina does go down. I didn't even know where she was at, but she does go down. And this fort is going to take a lot of damage and will go down. There was just a smidge of damage on that mid turret, which meant they were able to take out the fort with that first turn-in. And that's giving them a huge experience lead. They're almost to level 9. They're pretty much a full level ahead of the Pleyz as they're rounding out, getting close to those level 10 abilities.
The Pleyz are holding on to a lot of doubloons right now. They've got, let's see, 17 between them. Although even after a turn-in, the Goon squad is still holding on to 6. So they certainly have a good start on that. But it looks like the Pleyz are going to soon be looking for a way to turn in. And Evan Drinde is going to sneakily, with that Zeratul, run in and turn in 10 coins, which will get them Blackheart's attention. So a really good use of, like you said, Zeratul being a really big player on this map.
Yeah, and just wasn't quite spotted by that owl, so they will also be able to take down a fort here because the barrage will take out that mid one. But the Pleyz have to be really careful right now. Their opponents have level 10 abilities, which means that the Pleyz are going to have to just sacrifice this fort here as Teebs, Goat, and Yoda are wailing on it. They did pick up their heroic abilities. They once again got the Hinterland Blast along with Strafe, the Putrid Bile, Starfall, and Divine Shield for Uther.
Yeah, Putrid Bile is a favorite of mine. I really love that with the small confined spaces. And again, we bring it up a lot, but the Death Bridge is really interesting to use Putrid Bile in those situations. Stitch's other ultimate can be really, really valuable as well, but I really love the Putrid Bile pick here.
Yeah, I think for the most part, most people have been favoring the Putrid Bile over the Gorge lately, as it has been nerfed a bit in previous patches. Now, finally, at heroic abilities for the Pleyz, they've got to be feeling much more comfortable. They've got the Stage Dive and the Blink Heal, so a lot of mobility there, as well as the Water Elemental, the Void Prison, and Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas.
Yeah, here's where we're going to see those Void Prisons come into play. Really excited. We do see a turn-in from the Pleyz here. Was thinking we might see an engagement from Goon Squad, but they're not. They're going to let them just do the turning in. Still 1 doubloon short for the Pleyz, so luckily Blackheart will not be shooting the Goon Squad. Ooh, the Stage Dive initiates from Yelka right in the middle. Teebs is going to go down. Goat and someone else. Who else is in there?
Well,
Yoda.
Yoda was able to drop a really good strafe that didn't really get interrupted and dealt a ton of damage. And so now a team wipe from the Pleyz, where I thought that, or for the Pleyz I should say, I thought that maybe they would have a really good advantage because ETC Stage dove in and Uther wasn't quite there, but made it just in time to drop a really, really clutch Divine Shield. And from there, everybody in the Void Prison was out, able to start wreaking havoc and took out all of the members of the Pleyz very quickly.
Yeah, really cool synergy between these heroes. They are going to go and grab a turn in. They have plenty of doubloons, so Blackheart will be helping them out with a barrage of cannonballs against the Pleyz.
Now teams are just going to try to push back their lanes as much as possible. The Goon Squad have picked up level 13 talents just now. Vala is going for that multi-shot build. Really important on this map, generally happens because you just want to be able to clear lanes as fast as possible. There's a lot of mercs coming through, a lot of minions as well, and you just want to clear lanes so that you can hurry up and rotate as fast as possible to wherever you need to be, whichever map objective is popping up, whether it's the boss or whether it's coins. So this is a point that the Pleyz does not really want to engage into. They're trying to leave as fast as possible because they don't have level 13 talents, a great cleanse on Yell Cow is going to keep him from being stunned. We've seen Lex Luthor land some great cleanses, but unfortunately a hook onto that Zeratul means that he will be taken out. A bit of a misclick there, though, I think, because Divine Shield was dropped on the Stitches. So it's going to be down for 60 seconds here, but that's fine. No Zeratul means that they're probably going to be able to pick up this boss uncontested.
Yeah, and they're checking it out. Taronda keeping an eye out with those owls, keeping vision. She knows that Yell Cow and Zeus are held back by a big wave of bruisers, which is lucky for them. And they are not in danger. They're going to take that boss, which is going to keep pushing in that top lane alongside those bruisers. That's going to spell trouble for the Pleyz. They're also going to keep on grabbing doubloons, so really keeping the momentum up. Lex Luthor and Pirate Rum trying to make something happen here in the bottom lane. Hosty defending against them. They could grab those bruisers, but instead are going to back. It looks like Jaina doesn't feel like she has enough mana. Lex Luthor and Evan Drinde are going to look to grab these doubloons from the chest in the bottom, while the Goon Squad grabs the doubloons in the top. And are holding quite a few more doubloons than their opponents.
Oh, Evan and Lex Luthor are in a lot of trouble as Hosty and Co are in here. They did avoid the, oh my gosh, the Hinterland Blast and dropped a huge Void Prison that's going to allow them to escape. But Teebs was right around the corner coming in, is slowing them down with that Putrid Foul. They're trying to get away. They've got the Blink heal. There is a Blink from Zeratul. Will they be able to get out? Oh, a stun. Oh. Just barely getting out. A great cleanse once again from Lex Luthor will save the day on Evan. That was close, but what a great Void Prison.
Wow, yeah, that Void Prison was super clutch and a good example of what we were talking about of using the Void Prison defensively. We talked a lot about using it offensively as well, but definitely a good way to save your team. Posty's going to go grab the rest of those coins that were left behind as they looked for a pick, but Goon Squad now, I was assuming we're going to go for a turn-in. They actually do have 14 coins, but it looks like they're more interested in grabbing even more doubloons while they have the moment to do it. But the Pleyz are coming down to contest.
They are. They've caught Teebs out quite a bit. A Divine Shield on him will keep him safe for now, but that's about up. There is the stage dive, but everyone's having to run through this really amazing Starfall. Teebs is body blocked. Ruh-roh. Go ahead and body block him. No, Pirate Rum's got to get back, but that's okay because Walter, the water elemental, was there to save the day. They're going to pick up that Stitches kill. He's going to be out of the game for 30 seconds. This should be a turn-in for the Pleyz, who really desperately need that experience. Oh, the owl. Taronda, so annoying even when not there.
Canceling, but not being able to fully deny the turn-in. Looks like the Pleyz will get enough coins to engage Blackheart services. Really sad for poor Stitches, because the fact that Stitches lost all of his coins means that now the Goon Squad does not have enough doubloons to turn in, so they're going to have to collect even more for their greediness.
Greediness indeed. The Goon Squad still do have the level advantage and have picked up level 16 talents. And there's the fishing hook. Once again, overdrive as well. And a blood for blood on Vala. So pretty much the same ones they picked last time. Going for the damage. Also trying to make sure they get that pick. And instantly the Pleyz are right back at the turn-in spot. They would like to just compound turn-ins right away. They've now basically put it back at a structure, the same structures. Everyone's got keeps up still, and now the Pleyz are going to have to move away. The Goon Squad was coming in. They don't have their level 16 talents, and they're going to just push some lanes, get some experience where they can.
Yeah, they are not feeling confident in team fights right now. Definitely do not have, like you said, that level 16 matching talent here. So they're going to back off, which I think is a good choice, but it's certainly probably disheartening for them as they were hoping to grab that other turn-in before Goon Squad denied it of them. Goon Squad still maintaining their lead, and now they're angry. They have Siege Giants with them, and all 5 members of Goon Squad are going to push against the bottom lane of the Pleyz. They are 4 members there to defend. Ooh, dodging that Stitches hook.
So close to level 16. All they need is a little bit more, and we see ETC is sitting in lane, grabbing that for them, and there it is. Now they've taken out the Siege Giant, so they were able to defend that keep, but in the mid, the keep's still taking damage. What?
Teebs was standing in the siege camp and was trying to get a hook across the water and almost maybe did, but didn't quite. That fishing hook is going to give a little bit more distance, but in that case, not quite enough.
Something important to note too is because of the vision that Owl can give, they can use that to their advantage by throwing a hook out right after the Owl goes out, and they've got better vision of who to grab, so that it's not just a blind hook. ETC is still pushing top. They've still got a little bit of an experience disadvantage, but at least we're at the same tier now, and they've picked up a Numbing Blast, another Blood for Blood too. Let's see. They did get critterized, so look for them targeting that polymorphed hero because it will take more damage.
So as opposed to the what's it called? Sticky powder. That's what it is. Yeah, opposed to the sticky powder this time, which definitely means they want to burn down their opponents a little bit faster here, which makes a lot of sense considering the current scene in terms of team fights in this game.
Another talent I wanted to shout out really fast was Crippling Hammer, the level 13 for Falstad, increasing the movement speed slow of hammering to 50%. Often we see that Lightning Rod talent there, which deals increasing damage with every strike of Lightning Rod. But because they've got the stitches, if they throw the hammering out and can get a slow on whoever is hooked, they're all about stopping that person who's hooked, whether it's a stun from Tyrande, a stun from Uther, or even using a hammering to slow them down as much as possible. They've really got a lot of ways of making that hook work. They just have to hit the hook.
Yeah, and actually Teeb's looking to grab ETC, but denied that. Going to look for instead some more doubloons. Both teams are going to be looking to turn in here pretty soon, I would imagine. No one is near the bot chest. Tyrande's going to check that out with an owl and say, where are they? Looks like the vision will be grabbed by the Pleyz, and they're going to come down and look for... Well, Goon Squad is gone, so maybe you're going to go for a turn-in. Who knows?
Yeah, the Pleyz definitely both teams have the numbers, have the gold that they need, and the Pleyz saw that the owl was sent out, and so now they're going to go up and go for the boss. They've got this vision here, and also the Goon Squad are turning in, so it's got a really good time for them to be able to do so, as although they're going to lose the turn-in, it took a little bit longer too, so Hosty just now getting the turn in there, but the boss has been picked up for the Pleyz here, so they've got to be at least happy with that, but they do need to watch out because they are probably going to lose. They will lose at least one keep here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great thing to get the boss, but it probably won't do as much damage as Blackheart will do, as you can defend a boss, but you cannot defend the Pirate's Wrath. So get up Teebs and Hosty looking to grab this boss before it does too much damage to their wall. It is going to make some pretty quick work of that, though, so they're going to have to enlist Yoda and Vala to do some work. Looks like the Pleyz are scouting out for their own turn in here as soon as Blackheart comes back.
Yeah, at the very least, they were able to buy themselves some time and good positioning around this turn-in. But they are abandoning it just a little bit. It looks like they might be coming back to it now. They've got to be a little bit careful. Their opponents are almost to level 20, but there's a little bit of time where it's not like they're right at it. And so a good owl does stop one of the turn-ins here, but they were all doing a really good job of standing in a line, so they did get the turn-in this time. And so now they're just going to disengage. They want to try to even up the level experience and maybe even push a little bit with Blackheart's Barrage so that they can get as many structures down as possible.
I would think the Pleyz would have maybe been looking for an engagement there because they know their opponents are about to hit level 20, so they want to take advantage of the fact that they're still on the same talent tier right now. They opted not to, and it looks like Goon Squad is going to go grab the bruisers down at bottom. But in the meantime, the Pleyz are feeling pretty aggressive. They're going to look, well, they are going to run right into Goon Squad. Void Prison on Teebs and get up with a stage dive from ETC that doesn't really do much. It will get them in position to take get up down, but still not doing enough damage. The Putrid Bile from Stitches goes down. Ooh, the Hinterland Blast will melt everybody. Evan Drinde getting very low, but managing to get out. The hook will bring him back. Lex Luthor is the only one alive now, and with all of that, will die.
Yeah, and with those deaths, they've now lost level 20 abilities to the Goon Squad, who catapulted ahead in terms of experience. They're going straight for core. They already had their keep down thanks to that turn-in back when the Pleyz was picking up that boss. They've got 30 seconds before people are up. They're going to be able to throw so much damage here between Vala and Falstad. Everybody just attacking the core. This will be game, and we'll be going to game 3 between these two teams.
Yeah, it looked like maybe that engagement just wasn't what the Pleyz expected. Maybe they just didn't quite have the vision they needed on the team. Maybe they didn't communicate correctly. The ETC stage dive could have helped quite a bit, but just wasn't in quite the right position to do any damage or really be there to protect the rest of the team or use that tiny little death bridge area that's there. So I think that the Pleyz are probably feeling sad about that last engagement, but that's kind of the way it goes because in their last game, the last engagement was what won it for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really come down to this last engagement both times. Both teams have been really pretty close in terms of experience and structures. ETC stage dove in, and I see the idea was to separate the team, right? Because they had two people in the Void Prison and three on the other side of that death bridge, and so they stage dove right in the middle of that. But it didn't hit anybody, so there was no slow off of that. And I think maybe they were hoping to time it so that the people who were running back from the Void Prison would be hit by that, but they weren't, and then that just put ETC in a really awkward spot. He was way, way far forward, and instead, where the rest of his team was way far back. And on top of that, Uther ice blocked really early into the fight, and so couldn't really like shield or heal anybody up from that point while you're in the ice block. You can cancel it now. That is one of the things that they added in the last patch, but the Uther really ice blocked for the full duration there.
Yeah. A disappointing engagement, but certainly not a bad game. Both teams really showing their stuff in this semifinal match. It's now 1-1 between Goon Squad and the Pleyz, so I'm excited to see what they'll do in Game 3.
I am too, and it'll start with what map they decide to play on. We've had Sky Temple so far, Blackheart's Bay next. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will see what map will be Game 3.